In 1996, Tranz Rail purchased two ex-British Rail Mark II standard gauge carriages to evaluate for use on passenger services. They were unloaded at Auckland in August 1996 and taken on the short trip to the Otahuhu workshops. Here they were lowered onto conventional bogies, had brakes connected and underfloor structures removed before being towed to Hunt workshops for inspection and evaluation. In March 1997, Welsh's mainline steam took delivery of 16 similar passenger cars from Waterman Railways in Great Britain. 8 were offloaded at Christchurch, and the other 8 were shipped onto Mainline Steam's Parnell depot. They were lowered onto temporary kinky bogies from scrap steam heat vans for the journey from the port. Mainline Steam were to rebuild the carriages into 2 separate sets, one for its North Island fleet and the other set for the South Island. After receiving an assurance from Tranz Rail that their charter fleet would be available, there was no longer a need for Mainline Steam to have their own cars. By September, Welsh had sold the 16 cars to Tranz Rail, who moved them to the Hutt shops for storage. In 1997, Tranz Rail invested in a further 61 carriages from Great Britain. In 1998, work started on stripping and rebuilding 7 of the carriages at Hutt workshops for the Capital Connection weekday commuter train. 3 were ready for track testing and platform clearance by June 1999. Later that month, the Railway Enthusiast Society chartered the carriages for an excursion from Auckland to Awakuni and return. Seven carriages entered commercial service in November 1999 on the daily weekday sprint between Palmerston North and Wellington, the country's longest commuter run of 140 kilometres. An 8th carriage was later added to the consist. In August 2000, the carriages were steam hauled for the first time behind Steam Incorporated's JA 1271 and have continued to be used at weekends for other excursions. After 8 years in service, the Capital Connection cars were refurbished and rebranded in 2007. With the rebuilding of Auckland's rail commuter services, the first SA-SD set rebuilt from the British cars was test run around the Auckland suburban area in September 2004. Unlike the S-Series cars with their plug-type passenger entry doors, the SA cars feature 2 sets of full-width paired entry doors, giving them a striking point of difference. The reinforced SD driver control cab finished with a striking moulded fiberglass front. Behind the driver's cab is a noise-insulated compartment housing the diesel generator set for interior lighting and air conditioning. These now total 17 3- and 4-car sets, and more carriages are on order to keep up with the increasing passenger numbers using the Auckland commuter network. The push-pull concept is new to New Zealand.
Now this is one of the BR cars that we've imported from England. This is what we're going to be using for our SA-SD project, and we've used these in the past for the SW project. As you can see, they're not that good looking at this stage, but once they come out of our workshop they're looking pretty good.
The third generation rebuilding of the former British Rail Mark II cars are the SW cars for the Wellington to Masterton commuter services. The latest conversion will see 18 SW cars replace the A series cars built during the 1940s. Their arrival marks the beginning of a new era in public transport and Greater Wellington's first big investment in new rail fleet. Tranz Metro lease and operate the carriages from Greater Wellington. The refurbished and rebuilt ex-British Rail passenger cars have increased the comfort level to that passengers have been accustomed to.